Hello, Oilers fans. Welcome to the day after discussion of the Oilers' 4-1 victory over the Los Angeles Kings. You know what's really funny about this specific episode today? I just recorded an entire 20-minute long segment and my microphone was not turned on. Can you absolutely believe that? And last night, during my post-game recap, I forgot to wear the victory chain, but I have remembered it this time. My mic is definitely on now, and let's kind of jump into it. But first, before I get into the meat and potatoes of the video, if you are new to the channel, or if you have not yet subscribed and you're curious about the day after episodes, basically, it's something I make the day after an Oilers game. After every Oilers game, I will always talk about the team. I'll bring up extra talking points, things that I might not have talked about during the post-game recap, players that I want to talk about more in depth. If this is something that you're interested in and you like these types of videos, make sure you hit like. It goes a long way in supporting the channel. And if you really like them, make sure you hit subscribe. We are growing a terrific channel here. And if you're an Oilers fan and you want to see daily Oilers content, sometimes with a bit of an analytical analysis in there too, then you've come to the right place. I upload daily pretty much. There's no shortage of Oilers content on the channel. But without further ado, let's jump right into this for a second time for me. This is the first time you'll have been seeing this. So I just wanted to do a bit of a game analysis, and then I want to talk about different players that I thought had a huge impact on the game last night. So in terms of a game analysis for Edmonton, it was a very playoff-like physical game. They matched LA's style. The Oilers were very patient. They were not forcing things through the neutral zone. They weren't trying to force their way through the trap. They remained patient. They weren't losing focus, and that led to success against the Los Angeles Kings. The Oilers have had LA's number for a couple of seasons now. They've beaten them the last two playoff seasons. They won 3 of their 4 games against them head-to-head this year. So when it comes to the 1-3-1 and fans' concerns about it, it looks like the Oilers coaching staff and players, they know how to break it. They've been picking apart the LA Kings for a little bit while here, and the LA Kings, they looked frustrated last night. It was a full 60-minute effort. Every single line was rolling. Every player contributed in a positive way towards the game, whether it was on the penalty kill, 4-on-4 with the net empty, 5-on-5. I thought Edmonton played one of their best games of the season. The shot clock will say that, Edmonton was dominated. The expected goals for will show that, they only had a 38% expected goals for percentage at even strength last night. None of that matters to me because a lot of that for the LA Kings came when the Oilers got up 3-0, and then LA went, oh, we're down 3 goals. Now we have to open up and really push the play. At Edmonton, they were willing to just sit back. They were playing their structure. They weren't getting caught out of position. And apart from one little blunder in the corner from Mattias Ekholm, which I won't blame him for because he never makes mistakes, Edmonton played a very solid game. And Stuart Skinner, when Edmonton's defensive structure did break down, Stuart Skinner was there as well. So first player I want to talk about here who had a very positive impact on the game was Evander Kane. His first shift of the game with Corey Perry and Ryan McLeod, Evander Kane immediately targeted Drew Doughty with his physicality. Now, they gave Evander Kane a penalty for tripping. I didn't agree with the call because Drew Doughty saw him coming at the last second, tried to get out of the way. There was a bit of contact with their legs. Doughty went down. The angle that the ref was looking at, you could maybe make the argument that looked like a trip. It wasn't a trip. However, the Oilers did a great job as a team. They didn't give up a single shot to the LA Kings on that power play. And Evander Kane's physicality, targeting Drew Doughty, who ended up being a target the rest of the night, that set the tone. Evander Kane last night set the tone, and if you were looking to see what his response would be after being scratched against the Ottawa Senators, I would say Evander Kane has responded very, very well. He had a great game against the Winnipeg Jets. He had another good game against the LA Kings. He had 6 hits. He had a couple shots on net. He fed Corey Perry for a partial breakaway in the third. And then just, again, his impact on the ice with his physical presence is something that should not be understated. I'm someone that I love advanced analytics. I love numbers. I love the math of hockey. A lot of people don't. A lot of people like the intangibles. I am someone that will understand and I appreciate the intangibles. And Evander Kane last night, his intangibles were very noticeable in my opinion. Now, Next player I want to talk about here is Stuart Skinner. As I mentioned, when the Oilers' defensive structure broke down, Stuart Skinner was there to save the day. He made some amazing saves. First period, he didn't have a whole lot of, high danger looks against him. Second period was a different story. The first 4 or 5 minutes, the LA Kings came out flying, down 1-0. They were really pushing the pace. Stuart Skinner was very calm, didn't let the LA Kings get anything past him. And then towards the end of the second period, there was a bit of a breakdown down low. Vincent Desharnais kind of gave up the puck. Puck came out in front, and Stuart Skinner had to make 3 terrific saves, 3 grade A chance saves. And then about a minute after that, the Oilers go down, puck goes around, and it hits Adam Henrique in the chest and into the net. So instead of going to the third period tied 1-1, the Oilers were up 2-0, and it was thanks to Stuart Skinner. I thought he played his best game of the season despite not getting a shutout, which was unfortunate. But again, you can't get a shutout every game in this league. This is a 4-3 league nowadays, so to only give up 1 goal is a terrific performance. He had 32 saves, a .970 save percentage, and he had 2.6 goals saved above expected. So Stuart Skinner, terrific hockey. You love to see that. If he plays like that in the playoffs, I have no doubt that Edmonton can beat pretty much anybody. Stuart Skinner, for the most part, this season, I'd say 80% of his regular season has been terrific. He's a number 1 starting goaltender. I am still very confident in Stuart Skinner. He has his moments, like against the Toronto Maple Leafs, rough patches, rough games. He'll have a rough week or two, but for the most part, Stuart Skinner is the guy, and I am confident in his play. He played amazing last night. Next player I want to talk about is Connor McDavid. Now, we always want to talk about Connor McDavid because he's always doing something special on the ice, and last night was no exception. Last night, Connor McDavid had 3 more points. He had a goal and 2 assists. He is now at 95 assists on the season, so who knows where the ceiling is for him in terms of his playmaking, where he might finish with assists this year. He could finish with 100, 105, maybe 110 assists. If he finishes with more than 110 assists this season, that would just be unbelievable. There is a possibility that he finishes second all-time in assists in a single season. Someone other than, named Wayne Gretzky, because Wayne Gretzky, the amount of assists that guy piled up in regular seasons was absolutely ridiculous. And as I've mentioned before, Connor McDavid is on track here to be the 4th player to ever have 100 assists in a single season. He would join Gretzky, Lemieux, and Bobby Orr. So we are watching something very historic right now, something very special. And for a player like Connor McDavid, he's always doing something special and historic. So I just want to mention that because I don't want to take any of this for granted. We are very lucky to watch him play every single night. And Connor McDavid, of course, he's now only 2 points back of Nikita Kucherov for the league lead in scoring, and he has 2 games in hand on Kucherov. So it is very possible that Connor McDavid passes Kucherov in the next couple of games here and then runs away with the Art Ross. He won't actually run away with it, but you know what I mean. It's very likely that Connor McDavid could win the Art Ross once again this year. He has 16 points in his last 6 games, which is outrageous. He's hitting that point in the season where he just goes on an absolute tear. He's leading this team. He is dragging this team with him, and everybody on the team is responding accordingly. You can tell McDavid is just on another level right now. Just how focused he is. They'll show him on the bench and on the ice, and he's all business right now, and you love to see that. Next player I want to talk about is Leon Draisaitl. He had 3 assists last night, and I thought he had one of his better defensive games. Now, his overall night on the faceoffs, he only finished the night with about 43% on the draw. Not great. However, what was good to me and very clutch was the 3 draws he took when LA had their net pulled. Sorry, my voice there. With the net pulled, the LA Kings, Leon Draisaitl, in his defensive zone, he won 3 straight faceoffs with the net pulled. And without those face-off wins, Ceci would not have got the empty netter. The Oilers would not have gotten puck possession, and who knows, the LA Kings had been pushing a lot, but winning those 3 face-offs very late in the game took that momentum away from the LA Kings. They were not able to establish much of a forecheck in Edmonton zone with the net pulled, and of course, Ceci puts the game away. We love to see that for Ceci, by the way. So Leon Draisaitl, he's only 4 points away from another 100-point campaign, so we are looking forward to seeing that once again. Adam Henrique, his line mate for most of the night. Draisaitl's line mate for most of the night. I thought he had a good game. Again, this is one of those things where the expected goals for and the advanced metrics will show that Henrique maybe didn't have a strong night. However, I was watching Henrique very closely. He was my player to watch last night if you had seen my pregame report. And I thought Adam Henrique had a terrific game in terms of just his positioning on the ice, his on-ice awareness, defensive awareness. He won a few faceoffs when he had to. When Leon Draisaitl got kicked out of the draw, because he gets kicked out of the draw a lot. He scored that goal off his chest. Nice, greasy, gritty goal. Just crash the crease and hope a puck hits you and goes in, which it did. Those are the types of plays and goals that you're going to need to score once the playoffs start, because it's hard to get into open ice and get opportunities. He also had a very good look in the third period. Leon Draisaitl made an amazing spinning backhand pass to Adam Henrique, who took a nice shot on net. Could not convert, but I thought overall Adam Henrique, he is showing that he's playing more comfortable. He's getting into his own rhythm, and I like his play right now, and I think he's going to be good moving forward. Again, as someone that likes analytics, I'm not going to look too hard at the numbers right now, especially in a game like last night, because the LA Kings, they were really pushing. When they went down 3-0, the LA Kings took over the game in terms of pushing the play in Edmonton's end, and the Oilers, they went into a bit of a shell, but it was a structured shell. It was very calculated. So Adam Henrique, I thought he had a good game. Next two players I want to talk about is Darnell Nurse and Ceci. That defense pair was great. They were actually amazing. They were the best defense pair for the Oilers last night. I thought they played their best game of the season as a pair. Ceci especially, that's one of his better games, and you might notice that the last few games I've talked about Ceci and how well he's been playing. I've also been someone that wants him out of the lineup because I want to see Troy Stecher play, but it's hard to make an argument to take Ceci out right now. He's starting to play some of the best hockey he has played all year. Him and Nurse absolutely locked it down last night. Every time they were out there, the play was not in Edmonton zone for long. They were calm, they were collected, they were in position, they were structured, they were patient, they were making the right plays, and especially on the penalty kill. They were part of the penalty kill units that didn't allow LA to get a single shot in their 2 power play opportunities. And if those two can play like that, I will be very, very happy and much more confident going into the playoffs than I have in years past. However, there is a history with those two breaking down as a playoff series wears on. So let's hope that that doesn't happen. Let's hope that they are able to continue this strong play moving forward. Only a couple weeks left till the playoffs, so this is all about preparing for the playoffs right now for the Oilers. And last night, if that was a test, a playoff test, I would say the Oilers passed with flying colors. They passed with a perfect score, in my opinion. I think that they played exactly how you have to against a team like the Kings in the playoffs to have success. And the Oilers just in general have had a ton of success against LA. They've won 3 of their last 4 games against them this year. They've beaten them twice in the playoffs in a row, 2 seasons in a row. 2 years ago it was 7 games. Last year it was 6 games. The Oilers seem to know how to play against that 1-3-1, and the LA Kings don't have much of a response. So looking ahead here, Edmonton plays Anaheim tomorrow at 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So when it comes to my pregame report, they're usually up the same day, usually around 10 or 11 a.m. But because the game is so early tomorrow, it is a matinee before Easter weekend here. The pregame report might be up later tonight. It could be up very early tomorrow morning, 6 or 7 a.m. I'm not sure yet, but keep an eye out for that. I will have it ready to go and recorded. And looking ahead at the standings here, Edmonton is 6 points back of the Vancouver Canucks with 2 games in hand, and they still have a head-to-head match against each other. So if you assume the Edmonton Oilers win their 2 games in hand and then win the head-to-head matchup, well, now you're tied in points, and with just a few games left in the season, there is a slim but realistic possibility that Edmonton could overtake the Canucks for first place in the Pacific Division. So the Canucks have lost 2 games in a row. Edmonton's won 2 games in a row. They've gained 4 points on them the last couple nights. So we'll see if Edmonton can find a way to climb into first. But if they don't, I think Edmonton's position in second in the Pacific with home ice advantage is pretty much locked down right now. They are 4 points up on Vegas with 2 games in hand, and then they are 5 points up on the Kings with 2 games in hand. And there's not a whole lot of games left in the regular season. Most teams only have about 8 or 9 games left. The Oilers happen to have 11 games left. So as long as Edmonton continues to take advantage of their not only their head-to-head matchups, but taking advantage of the games in hand. Beating teams like Anaheim tomorrow is a must if they want home ice position in the playoffs. So what did you think about the game last night? Is there any players that I didn't bring up that you wanted to mention, good or bad? I love engaging in discussion with all of you. That's what these videos are all about. Let me know all of your thoughts down below in the comment section. And as I mentioned earlier, if you like these videos, make sure you hit like. If you really like them, make sure you hit subscribe. It goes a long way in supporting the channel. I'll see you in the pregame report for the Ducks and Oilers here soon. And tell someone that you love them. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Take care.